Hello, my name is Mark Bentkower. I'm the Global Alliances Technical Director across APJ for Veeam. With me today is Desmond Lai from AWS. Please introduce yourself, Desmond.
Thank you, Mark. I am Desmond Lai, the AWS Storage SA for APJ.
Cool. All right, look, let's just jump right in, Desmond. I'm running VMware in my physical data center, like so many of our customers have been doing for many, many years, and trying to understand what the advantage would be to VMware in the cloud. What is VMware in the cloud?
So in a nutshell, what VMC is, it's extending your VMware on-premise to the cloud, which is hosted in AWS.
Okay. So what are some of the advantages of doing that? I mean, I can see right off the top, I'm not going to have to buy any physical hardware because I'm going to be in the cloud, and I'm also going to get to enjoy some of the cloud economics as far as pay as you go and grow as you're ready to do, etc. Is that it? Is that the whole story?
Well, you are right, but that's not all.
Okay.
So one of the things that it allows us to do is that it's essentially the same platform. So your IT staff doesn't need to be retrained at all.
Okay.
So you can hit the ground running. Right? Another thing is that since it's on the same platform,
right,
it's essentially a lift and shift.
Okay.
Right. So you don't need to re-architect any of your existing applications.
All right.
This actually lowers risks for our customers to adopt VMC.
All right, Desmond. So I'm in my physical data center. I'm running VMware. I'm backing it up as I always have. And now we're starting to talk about VMC sitting inside of this highly available environment that you have at AWS. You've got 11 nines. You've got an important security model. Is data protection as important here as it is here?
Absolutely. So security is a day zero job for us in AWS.
Okay.
And we operate off what we call a shared responsibility model.
Okay.
Where AWS is responsible for data off the cloud, your hardware, your software, underlying infrastructure.
Okay.
However, the customers are responsible for the data in the cloud itself, data that you bring from on-premise to VMC in AWS.
Got it. Okay, and so there's going to be a service level agreement that's going to be part and parcel with that, right? If I had an SLA of uptime of an hour here and I want to have that hour here, I'm still responsible for the data part of it. You're responsible for everything sitting under it, right?
Correct. We expect our customers to be bringing critical applications from on-premise into VMC itself with very, very tight SLAs.
All right, so critical applications is really kind of key here. So the things that come up to mind that I think customers would immediately be concerned about would be, something like a ransomware or any other kind of a disaster, and then how do I get back up and running again? But the other thing that comes to mind is compliance, right? So here in APJ, we've got many different countries. There are different rules in every country around how long you have to hold data, and specifically, FSI data or healthcare data, et cetera, and keeping data even in some cases within the country itself. So there's a cost involved in that. And the longer you hold data, the more expensive it potentially can become. How do we deal with that here? How am I going to make sure that my data retention costs don't end up getting blown out?
You're absolutely right. So cost is a major concern and challenge for our customers, especially in APJ. Anytime you do the wrong retention policy, a wrong compliance strategy, you will see that cost skyrocket.
Got it.
Right. If not now, maybe a year or two in the future. I did mention about cost as part of the challenge faced by our customers when embarking on VMware to VMC.
Right.
So what other challenges do you foresee our customers will face?
Well, I think that right off the top, I see some speed and latency problems, right? As we're moving data from the physical data center to the cloud, or even the other direction, you're traversing the public internet, and you don't know, how fast that's going to go, because maybe there's something else happening that is eating up a lot of bandwidth that you're competing for. And there's also speed issues within vSphere itself on either side, which is why you want to be taking backups off of snapshots and not doing anything that might shock the production environment itself. right? So making that data small is a big one. The other challenge is that a lot of customers, have physical machines in the data center, and they bought data protection software to manage that. And then VMware came along and they bought another package to back up VMware. And then the cloud comes and they have another one for that. Now, if you've got these fast SLAs and these mission critical applications, there's no way that you can have multiple products and be able to make a recovery time objective of like an hour. Right. So that's a big problem.
Speaking of tooling, another tool that VMware provides is called vMotion.
Sure.
So that's part of replicating data from on-premise to VMC.
Yep.
Isn't that part of data protection strategy itself?
Yeah, so vMotion is a very important part of the available architecture, and it's really about business continuity more than anything else. I want to replicate something that's in a state from here to here or back again, but that's not data protection. That's high availability, right? So if you make a mistake or you have an erasure or something else happens to the data and you replicate it, you replicate those errors and those problems. If you erase something and now I've got 2 copies of an erased disk, I still need data protection to be able to go put that data back to where it was at a recovery point objective and be able to pick up and go. So they're good tools, but they're for different purposes.
Right, understand that. So what can Veeam do to help our customers embark on this journey from VMware to VMC? Yeah,
so look, backup and disaster recovery are obviously part and parcel. We've talked a lot about data movement back and forth between the physical and the cloud. But another thought is around conversion, and you might be talking about conversion to AWS native. So you might want to do a temporary conversion for testing purposes, and take data that's sitting here and stick it into S3 and ECS and EC2, or you might even be looking to put together a tertiary data center and for a longer term disaster recovery, or looking to just take data and back it up onto S3 so that you have a more cost-effective way of storing data for the long term.
So how does Veeam do all this?
So how Veeam does all that is the subject of the next video that Desmond and I are going to do. So please come join us and we'll walk through what some of that looks like.